for this tip video, I wanted to talk about something I noticed several months back, a little tip about deducing groups of people. This can be beneficial in a few areas, which I can get to in a minute, but specifically how deducing groups of people, specifically observing groups of people, will be different than observing an individual. When you're observing an individual, what you'll typically do is you'll get close to the person so that you can, so that they take up more of your field of vision. So here's how eyesight works, and distance is that the closer it is, the bigger your field of vision, the more your field of vision that it takes up. So when observing one person, this works out great because let's say you want to look at their shoes first. With them being close in your field of vision, it's okay that their shoes take up more of your field of vision because you can focus in on that, you can get more details that way. But in a group, you don't have time to look at 10 people's shoes, 10 pairs of shoes from 10 different people, and observe all the details you can in that situation. So the trick to observing groups of people is to observe them from further back. You lose specific details, but you can gather and absorb larger masses of information in the same amount of time that it would take you to observe a single person, because at a further distance, each person is taking up a smaller portion of your field of vision. So you can look at everyone's shoes in the same few seconds and then move up to the next step and so on and so forth within seconds at a time. It may take a little bit longer and you'll lose a lot of detail that way, but but it's faster and more efficient than if you were to try and observe each individual in the crowd at once. So when will this kind of observation come in handy? You don't want to make these, you don't need to observe groups of people very often. There's very few times it's even practical, but for practice, sometimes it's fun to observe a group of people who all come in shopping at the same time. Or maybe a group of people at the fair. This is when I made this little discovery. Is that it is a few months back when I was at the local fair. I was doing some deduction practices for myself, and among them was I was trying to quantify the best ways to deduce this group of people that were passing. And I realized that at a distance, I could see more. And then when something piqued my interest, that's when I would step up closer and get a closer look at something. So in a group, it suffices to observe them at a distance because you don't need all that detail. And you can still get pretty decent information by doing block deductions, basically deducing one thing about the group and then figuring out which members of the group it applies to. That's basically the tip for today. It's pretty simple. One single tip about specific situations, opposed to some of my larger tip videos where I bullet out several different points. Good news for some of you who have been waiting on subscriber requests. Let me see. I have a subscriber request from ARG Science about martial arts. I'm going to be working on that video soon. Then I also have one from Board, who's talking about abnormal gaits. Going to be starting on research for that one very soon. And then a video request from Jay asking about a detailed weekly routine schedule. I thought that'd be a pretty cool video to do as a lab video, just a step-by-step through my day or weekly, monthly routine. So I'll get to that soon. I did a tip video about doing schedules, deduction training schedules, last month, I think, or earlier this month, and that came about from that video. He asked a more detailed description of what my training regimen would look like, and so I'll probably get to work on that one. And then I'm researching about the gates and martial arts at the same time. Martial arts has proven to be a big project, simply because I have to become knowledgeable about multiple different types of martial arts before I can even speak on that subject. Fortunately for me, I already know a few martial arts, things about martial arts. But yeah, so little update, little tip video. I have some footage about from live deductions, but I'm currently not very equipped right now to edit the videos there. I'm currently not equipped to make those videos right now with my current computer. Hopefully I can figure some way to do that in the near future. It's proving to be a little difficult. But yeah. Thanks for watching and have a good day.